Hi, Aunt Dodi. We would love some orange pecan cookies for Christmas.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna make orange pecan cookies. Sometimes we call these pecan crisp cookies, depending on how long you cook them for. They can be a crispier or a little bit softer cookie. And normally they're sliced very, very thin. But let's first start with the ingredients. So let's see what we have. All right, I've already sifted some all-purpose flour. We have some room temperature butter, some baking soda, salt, a room temperature egg, an orange, some chopped pecans, and some sugar. Right, so the first thing we're gonna do is take 3/4 cup of softened butter. This one has been set out for room temperature, so it's nice and soft. And we're gonna add 1 cup of granulated sugar. And we are going to beat this until it's nice and creamy. Okay, we've mixed our sugar and our butter, or creamed them together. And next I'm going to add 1 room temperature egg. I'm just gonna give it a little mix real quick, and then we're gonna add this right in, and we'll get that blended up as well. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is take an orange, and I'm gonna use my microplaner. If you have a zester, you can do that too. And I'm just gonna lightly get the orange part of the peel in a bowl until I have about a teaspoon of orange peel, or the orange zest. And so you can see that it starts making a little zest there for us. And I'm gonna keep going around the orange. I don't wanna get into the white, so I'm just gonna keep moving the orange around until I've pretty much zested the entire orange. I think that'll give us about a teaspoon. All right, so we've zested our orange. You can see we got a good little amount there. And I'm gonna take this same orange and I'm just gonna cut it in half because I'm gonna juice it. So be very careful when you cut your oranges in half. You can also use orange juice if you don't wanna juice an orange. But I have a little juicer here, it's just a little hand juicer. They have all kind of tools for this, but you're gonna juice 1 orange, or try to get about a tablespoon of orange juice out of it. Again, you can use orange juice already pre-squeezed if you'd like to do that method. But since we've already had to get the zest of this one, we're just gonna get the juice of it as well. All right, so now that we've blended our sugar, butter, and eggs, we're gonna add our zest, the orange zest, to this bowl. This is about a teaspoon. If you have the little bitty mandarin oranges, you might have to do 2 of those. And we zested and juiced our orange. So I'm going to take the juice of the orange, about a tablespoon of that, and we're just going to blend this together and we'll come right back. Okay, our mixture is nice and fluffy. You can really smell the orange in there. You can see some of the little orange bits of the peel in there. And now we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. All right, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and we also have a teaspoon of baking powder and a ½ teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna mix these together and we're gonna sift them together. So I'm gonna put them through this little sifter or sieve and try to get them as fine as we can. I'm gonna sift these and we'll come right back. All right, I sifted together the baking powder, salt, and flour, but I'm gonna do it one more time to make sure everything is well sifted together. Any little hard pieces that are left in the sifter, you throw those out. You don't try to push them through or add them to the bowl. So you're trying to get everything nice and fine to create just kind of a very nice dusting of flour there. All right, now we're gonna add our twice sifted flour mixture to our cream mixture. And before I turn on my mixer, I'm just gonna kind of blend this a little bit just so it doesn't fly up and send flour all over the room. So sometimes it's best to just kind of stir it in first and then use your mixer after you get the flour incorporated. There we go. All right, so I've mixed this all up really nicely. You can't really see a lot of the flour anymore. And next we're gonna add our chopped pecans. All right, so we are ready to add our 1 cup of chopped pecans. These are chopped very finely. I don't want any big chunks in this cookie. It does have quite a lot of nuts, which is really the star of the show between the orange and the pecan. And we're just gonna stir those in and make sure they get nice and incorporated with the dough. And we're gonna do this by hand because pecans tend to stick really badly to beaters. So we're just gonna stir these in. All right, and next we're gonna get some cling film out because this dough has to rest in the fridge for about 2 hours, or you can put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Okay, so you're gonna wanna get your cling wrap or your saran wrap or whatever it is that you have that you can wrap this up with. And we are going to take our dough and try to make kind of a log shape out of it. And you can form this as you roll it in the saran wrap or the cling wrap. So I'm gonna show you how I do it. And this is gonna make quite a few cookies depending on how thin you slice them. Okay, so I've got the dough out here on the cling film. And I think we've got just about all of it that we can get out of that bowl. There we go. And now we're going to wrap this up. Okay, so I have our dough. It's pretty sticky, so I'm going to use my cling film in order to kind of shape it the way that I need it to be shaped. So I'm going to kind of push it down and get it a little bit skinnier and let it really push out long ways is what I'm doing. I'm just going to do this a couple of times and then we'll wrap it up and squeeze it down. There we go. So I'm going to use my hands to form the dough and make it nice and long and try to make it uniform. However thickness the middle one is what it needs to be on the ends as well. So you don't want it to go really skinny on the ends. You want it to be about the same thickness all the way through so that the cookies are the same thickness around. All right. You can roll it a little bit. There we go. And this dough really needs to set up and get firm before we can slice them because these are sliced cookies. All right, so I'm going to take this dough and put it in our fridge for about 2 hours. All right, so our cookie dough has been in the fridge for well over 2 hours. I did go ahead and take it out after about an hour and kind of shape it into a little bit better shape because it was getting really, really flat on one side. And you can do that. You can kind of shape it with your hands before we cut them. So let's go ahead and shape it a little bit more and then we'll slice out these cookies. Okay, I've gone ahead and set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of shape these a little bit more with the saran wrap still on so you don't get your hands all sticky. Kind of roll them a little bit. This dough is a lot stiffer, so it's gonna be a lot easier to cut. And we'll go ahead and unwrap it and we'll start slicing these up. So let's go ahead and take that saran wrap off, or cling film, whatever you call it. All right, and let's slice them. So I'm gonna use a very sharp knife and I'm just gonna cut them very, very thin. So as you can see, they're not very thick at all. And if you don't want them to have too flat of a bottom, again, you can kind of press those down, try to shape it as you go. But that's about the shape that I like, so I'm going to place them on a parchment lined cookie sheet. We'll go ahead and keep slicing these. Try to make them all about the same size so they cook evenly. Now, my sister, Kim, likes hers thin and crispy. I like mine with a little bit more texture. So I probably will fix some of these for her so they're a little thinner, and I'll fix some of these for us so they're a little bit thicker. But normally, if you want them to all cook the same, you would cut them the same size and cook them the same time. So we are going to cook these for about 10 minutes or until your preferred doneness. But the beauty about this type of dough is you can take it and put it in a Ziploc or seal it really well in some cling film and then maybe wrap it in tin foil. And you can freeze this until you want to cook some more. So let's say I only want to cook part of these right now and I want to cook the other part at a later date, I can freeze this dough and get it out whenever I want to. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm only gonna cook half of it, and I'm gonna freeze the other half of it for later. All right, you guys, these are the orange pecan cookies. Again, if you cook them a couple minutes longer, they'll get crispier. I like mine with a little bit of chew, but my sister likes hers more with a little bit of the crunch, but let's give it a try. That is so tasty. You can definitely taste the orange in it, and the pecans give them just enough crunch and flavor. They are delicious. We hope that you enjoy our orange pecan cookie recipe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.